All right, guys, in this video, you're gonna learn 4 steps that will change the quality of your life. And if you understand them, you're gonna be on fire, you're gonna be growing, you're gonna be experiencing breakthroughs. Let's go. Okay guys, so I'm gonna break this down for you, and you have to be in alignment in these 4 areas, and you're probably gonna identify as we're going in this video that you might be out of an alignment in these areas. And if you can get in alignment in these areas, then you're gonna have a very good life. Listen, what we're after in life is what? Happiness, peace, man. We wanna feel good about who we are. We wanna be on fire. And in order to have a well-rounded life, you're going to have to be good in these areas. So let's start with number 1. First, you're gonna have to have time. Listen guys, in your life right now, I want you to rank this area on how your time is. Are you just busy? Now, listen, I want you to put a plus or a minus sign if you have the time that you want. Do you have the time with your family that you've always desired? Do you have the time to do things that you wanna do? Or is your time just busy? You're waking up, you're grinding, and then there's not really time for anything, okay? Next, I want you to put vitality. Vitality. Okay, listen, man. Vitality. Do you have the energy to go out and have a big life? Like, what does your body look like? What does your energy look like? What does your health look like? Listen, this is one area that you might be out of an alignment with. And if you are, I want you to put a minus. I want you to put a plus, whichever one. You might be minus on both. You might be plus on both. Listen, when you wake up in the morning, do you got that energy? Do you got that stamina? Or are you waking up in the morning a little tired, drowsy? We typically make better decisions when we have good energy. But a lot of the times, maybe you've got some diseases, some things happening with inside of your body, some things that maybe because of the last 10, 15 years of your life, you're suffering with right now, okay? I want you to address this area because your energy and your vitality and your health, it's gonna play a key role in the quality of your overall life, okay? So next, we got money. M-O-N-E-Y. Listen, money's gonna play a big deal in your life. What does your money look like? You know, listen, do you got enough money where if you go to the store right now, you're not really worried about like what you spend? You know, you're like, oh man, it's cool, man. I can go to the store. I don't even look at my credit card statement. You know, or is every penny right now stressing you out? The cable bill comes due and you're like, oh man, it was more than I expected. Like, holy crap. Listen, a lot of times when you don't have the money, it's hard to make bigger decisions, take bigger risks because you're so caught up in like the mousetrap, the rat race. Are you doing a 9-to-5 right now? And you see money as like, hey man, if I make $3,000 to $4,000 a month, there's no way for me to make $30,000 a month. I can't even imagine making $100,000 a month because I can't even get my mind to think past $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, $8,000. I'm gonna teach you how on this channel, or maybe you're a business owner right now and money's not your issue. You're making a few $100,000 a month and that's possible. For my low limiting thinkers, it's possible, but maybe money isn't your issue. I want you to put a plus or a minus on this one. Time, vitality, relationships, okay? Relationships. What does your relationships look like right now? Listen, do you got really good relationships with your kids, with your family, with your friends, or are you by yourself? You know, relationships really matter. Your relationship capital is extremely important to the quality of your life. If you don't have good relationships around you, it's likely that could be hurting the quality of your life. Hey guys, it's the Macklin Twins. Let's go. You can join our free training where you're going to see thousands of 1%ers just like you in our community, training on personal development, sales, mindset, and greatness. Yes. Join us. It's free. Click the link in the description. ELLIOTT Training Academy. We'll see you on the inside. Let's go, baby. Click the link. Listen, when you got a good peer group, you got a good brotherhood, you got a good friend group, those things really determine the altitude that you're gonna go in life because you're always gonna need good people around you, okay? So maybe this one is an error, or maybe this one you've got great relationships, put a plus or put a minus, okay? Now, I wanna go back through these because I'm gonna show you something where you likely have a hole. I've seen a lot of people. I've coached thousands and thousands of people, and I've got guys that are billionaires in our program. I've got guys that have a lot of money, but they've got 0 time. So that means they're missing every baseball game for their kids. Listen, they got a lot of money, but they have no time. They haven't figured out how to leverage their time, so they're really maxed out here. I've got a lot of people that have a lot of money, but they have zero vitality. That means along the route of the success wheel, they got trapped in sacrificing a lot of their time, a lot of their money. They were going after this money, they're going after these things, and they lost their health. And then they spend their entire back half of their life trying to get the vitality, paying lots of money to get that vitality, maybe not even getting it. Here's what I'm gonna tell you guys. One of the biggest keys to your life is this vitality. Why? It's gonna help you make better decisions. It's gonna help you go to the next level of your life. It's gonna help you have ultimate clarity, so you can't sacrifice this one for this one, okay? I watch a lot of people get in that mousetrap, that success trap, and it doesn't really do any good for them, okay? So like, I want you guys to think about this. Listen, right now, if you're out of shape, I know you look in the mirror and don't like who you are. You can walk around and tell people that you do, but ultimately to you, you know when you look into that mirror, you are either happy with yourself or you're not. And there's a self-confidence below when you strip away everything that you have internally that bleeds into your team, that bleeds into your family, it bleeds into how you treat your kids, your neighbors, your community, everything, okay? Listen, my energy's on fire. People ask me, hey Ian, how do you get that energy? Okay, I'm telling you, I lived dead for a lot of years. When I started eating the right things, doing the right things, surrounding myself with the right things, what I was putting into my mind, what I was putting into my heart, my soul. There's 4 parts of your human nature: your mind, your body, your soul, and your spirit. Listen, you gotta feed those things. I just got done reading parts of the Bible. Those things feed my soul, feeds my energy, gets rid of the demons. There's weeds growing in your head. But some of you guys, you're just feeding those weeds instead of feeding the actual parts of your body that matter: your mind, your body, your soul, all of those things. So listen, it could be your vitality. This could be the one thing that you have off. Maybe some of you guys, you're so in that balance mode where you have all of the time in the world. You're gonna spend all the time with your kids, all the time with your family, all of the time doing what you wanna do, but you have zero money. I mean, what's that worth? Money buys you freedom. Like you can get freedom for money. But you know what gets you money is skills. Skills will provide you money. So if you need more money, you gotta have more skills. The higher your skills go, the more leverage that you have in the market, okay? I thought making $20,000, $30,000 a month was a lot till I started hanging out with people, relationships that were making $20,000, $30,000 a day, and then that's what I started to make, okay? So relationships are a big deal. There's a lot of people that have money, but they have no relationships. What's that worth? Like, what's that worth? What's it worth if you have all the money in the world, but you're doing life by yourself? I've seen a lot of people miserable. They don't have a team. They don't have a company. They don't have a team that they love. And maybe they've been the problem with inside of those relationships because people don't want to be around them. I want you to do a credibility score with yourself. How much do you believe in you? How much do you love you? If you love you, you're able to love others. I see a lot of people that don't love themselves and they don't know why they're not attracting the right people. Most of the things in your life, you can attract them. You don't have to chase them. You can attract all the right relationships if you're the right person. Listen, I'm very happy with my vitality. I'm very happy with my time right now. And guys, by the way, I'm 34 years old at shooting the time of this video. I was in the car business for 10 years. And for 10 years, listen, I had to create the life that I had to create now to be able to buy the time that I had. I had to create that, okay? I just had my baby is 8 months old, okay? I have a 7-year-old son. I'm able to spend a lot of time with them. I'm able to spend I can go to any baseball game, anywhere. I can travel anywhere that I want, whenever I want, however I want, in whatever class, in whatever first class, second, whatever I want to do, I can do here because I have the money, okay? But I also have the energy to be able to go to that baseball game, be present in that baseball game, and be aware. If I had all the time, but I had no health and I was sitting there on the sidelines just tired as heck, well, that wouldn't be a good quality of life, okay? If I had all of the energy in the world and all the vitality in the world, but I had no time, I would be out of the freaking game. Listen, most of the things that you're gonna need in life are gonna come from relationships. Relationships are where you get the most money from. Any sale that's made is coming from relationships. Any big deal that's made is coming from relationships. I'm working on a deal overseas in the Middle East, and it was because I met a guy with this relationship that could be a multi-million-dollar deal, and it was only because of a handshake. But what this guy saw was my energy. He saw my vitality. He knows that I've got you know, obviously I've got the time to be there. Obviously I've got the money to be in this high-level mastermind group. Most small thinkers, they don't invest their money to buy their time back. They don't invest their money to buy their time back. I was earning money in the Middle East because I invested my money to buy my time back, okay? So I could travel overseas and still make money because I have a business, okay? So I'm still earning money while I'm overseas. I've got the time. I'm still earning income. You might be in a place in time right now where you're a salesperson and you can't do that. You have to be on the front lines of your company making sales every day. That's okay. What you want to do is get really good at that one thing. The way that I rank my quality of life is through my human experience. So like whatever my human experience is right now, that's what I'm ranking it as. I have a very well-rounded quality of life right now. I have been the guy that had money, but I had no relationships. I've been the guy that had money, but I wasn't happy with my health. I've been the guy that had money, but I had zero time. Ultimately, you want to get all of these things in alignment, because if you do, then you're on fire, okay? So if you're a salesperson right now and you just got in sales and you're looking to have the most time, that might not happen for you right now. I'm gonna be honest with you. You might have to grind until you have those skills, until you have the money, and then maybe you can open your own business and buy your time back, okay? But typically when you open your own business, like we did in the first couple of years, me and Andy we worked 24/7, 365, you know, and now he has the ability to travel the world because he has a team. So he bought his time back, so he has income, okay? So a lot of these things, you're gonna have to evaluate like what really matters to you, okay? And if you can get all of these in alignment, so you have the right relationships, you have the right money, you have the right vitality, you have the right sales vehicle, then you can really start living life differently, okay? You know, my human experience right now is a lot different than maybe the average 34-year-old's human experience. You know, maybe they're missing every game with their kid. They're not doing the right things. They don't have the right energy. They don't have the right vitality. So people can't see them as the leader of their company, okay? So they're not able to do these things. You got to learn to live with inside of these things and understand that these things play a huge part in the quality of your life, which was what we're after. So guys, I want you to rank yourself plus, minus for each of these, okay? So right here, I want you to rank yourself on the side of the paper. And this is a good chance for you to do a self-discovery, a self-audit, and see which one you need to work on, okay? So if you have zero vitality right now, like you're like, or maybe I got 20 to 30%, okay, let's work on that. Let's go to the gym. There was a time where I didn't even understand the gym. Now, if I don't go to the gym, I just know my day's not going to be right. I just know I'm going to be my own worst enemy. I don't have that edge to go get the big life that I want. If right now you're experiencing a lot of demons, a lot of giants in your life that you're like, oh my God, the world's crumbling down on me, you need to focus on your vitality, okay? You need to. If you don't have money right now, okay, it means you just don't have skills. It means you don't have skills. When I was first starting out in sales, I remember working at a restaurant and I'm like, okay, how does this guy have a $300,000 car that pulled up to the restaurant? That guy was just in a different vehicle. He has a certain set of skill sets that could probably make him $20,000 to $30,000 an hour. When in reality, you're thinking, well, the guy that makes the most in our company makes $18 an hour. That guy doesn't have the skill sets that I'm talking about. Sales and leadership. The ability to persuade and influence is how we acquired the vast majority of our wealth. That's how you will get to the next level. That person likely leads a company. He likely leads a team so that he can have that money, okay? That guy likely has those relationships, which, you know, like that Dubai deal I'm talking about, one deal could make you a lot of that money. Okay, but if you don't have the skill sets, next to money, I want you to be thinking about, like, what are your skills? Like, what are your skills? If you don't have the skill of influence, of sales, of leadership, leadership is not just I show up and tell people what to do. That's not leadership. If your team is not running at an extremely high level like our team, I'm telling you, you don't really have leadership down, okay? Leadership is the number one thing that you should be studying in your life. Doesn't matter if you're 18, 19 years old. The first level of leadership, I'm gonna let you know, is self-leadership. You gotta be able to lead yourself. You gotta be able to live it so that you can learn. You gotta be able to learn it so that you can live it, and then you can loan it to other people. What people wanna see right now in the market, if you really wanna make the most money, is a leader that's living it Because if you say something to do, you tell somebody to do something, but then you're not doing it, they're not gonna do it. Step 1, you gotta learn it. Step 2, you gotta live it. Step 3, you gotta loan it over to somebody. And when you can do that, you'll be making more money than you know what to do with. This world has a shortage of salespeople and leaders. So if you can study this channel and go to a bunch of the videos that we have on sales and leadership, it will teach you how to figure out this money problem. So if this is your area, here's what I would do. And I wanna speak to the people that don't have the money real quick. I remember when I was broke, and I remember there was this conference in Miami. I lived in Denver, Colorado. I was 19 years old. And I was around these managers that told me selling 20 cars was impressive. And I'm like, calculating the money. I'm like, that doesn't seem like that much money. Like, I want to make bigger money. Like, I want to sell 50, 60 cars. Like, I think these guys are small thinkers. And I was on YouTube and I saw a guy and he was talking about selling 60 cars. And I'm like, I want to do that. But the course was $800 to fly down there. I mean, just for the course, and then I had to fly down there. I mean, I don't even have $800 in my bank account. And there's a credit union across the street, and it said, we approve everybody, loans up to $5,000. So I walked over there, me and my twin brother. And when we got over there, they loaned us the money. And we literally walked out of there 15 years ago with a check, like right there. We were like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. We didn't even know how to pay the money back. You know what I mean? We were like, what do we do? We didn't know interest rate. We didn't know any of that. We're just freaking 18-year-old kids that are just ready to grow. And that moment changed my life because I invested in that course. I went down there. I bought a one-way ticket, by the way, okay? Because I didn't know that you needed to buy a two-way ticket. I just bought a one-way ticket to go down there. And we went down to this conference. Me and my brother didn't have enough money to buy a hotel. A lot of people know the story. We slept on the street. It was in Miami, so it's not as bad as it sounds because there's a beach. Like, we literally slept at the beach, you know, and we ate food like out of a Mexican restaurant, chips and salsa. We were eating chips and salsa out of a Mexican restaurant and, you know, walking in the Safeway and eating grapes and stuff and running out. I'm just telling you the truth. But what we learned there was a certain set of skill sets that made us rich. Literally, we went back to the dealership and we just saw things differently. These guys were teaching us objections, closing, negotiating, swag, charisma, these different things that just were so important. The micro communication skills, branding, marketing. I mean, our minds were just like, oh my God, everything's possible. For so long, we just thought nothing was possible and it wasn't gonna happen for us. And we were in this poverty mindset, not this abundance mindset. And it was like, and then we got this information. It was like the gunk just came off of our eyes. And it was like, duh, well, let's go do this. I remember that month, we went to 30 cars plus each, and literally we never looked back, never ever sold below that, and it just kept going up and up and up and up, and we kept investing in ourselves. Every time we got a paycheck, we were in a program investing in ourselves. But I want to go back to what happened, because we didn't have the money. There's a lot of people that they're like, I can't get into a program, it's $200. I'm like, what? You're never gonna have the money if you don't figure it out, okay? If you don't figure out how to get the skills, then you can never really have the money. And you got to figure that out. We figured it out. We leveraged the money we didn't have. We took a loan out and it changed our life forever. That is the one thing going back. You can't connect the dots looking forward in your life, but you can connect them looking back. I made that investment. I got these skills. I got this belief. I stayed committed to that program. I was in that program for years. I didn't leave that program. I stayed committed. I learned skills that nobody else had. They said, how do you do this? And I'm like, honestly, do you really want to know, or are you just asking? Like, because I would tell a guy that was making $50,000 a year next to me, and I'm making 4 or 5 times that, and I would tell him and he wouldn't do anything with it. But you know why? Because he wasn't invested in it. He didn't part ways with money. So when I would tell him, he'd be like, oh yeah, you try it, and he wouldn't do it. He was just a 99%er. If you're the 1%er, you're investing in your skills. You're in an academy like ours. You know, you can go to a video with a guy like Corey Baker on my channel that, you know, he invested himself and he sold 64 cars in a town with 2,000 people. But you're gonna need mentorship. You're gonna need guidance. You can try to do it by yourself. You can try to do it by YouTube, but you're going to need some of that blueprint that I got, okay? Relationships. I had the money. I went and got this, I went and got this good career, but my relationships were bankrupt, man. I ruined all the relationships around me because I just started valuing money over this. And honestly, this is more important than this. This will bring you this. So relationships should be one of the top, I mean, that should be the top thing that vitality would be the number one thing that I would value the most. I would value relationships second. I would value time and then money, because I can create money. Money's not hard to create, okay? You can create money. But you gotta focus on this relationships. You gotta focus on this vitality. You know, you gotta focus on your time. There was a time where I had the money, the relationships, but I had no time. I was locked into I had to do the day-to-day selling. I didn't leverage my money to buy my time back. And you gotta buy your time back. You gotta create something eventually. You're gonna have to take a step in your career and go into leadership so you can buy some of your time back, okay? So if you can live by these, it'll change the quality of your life. I'm sure of it. It did for me. Pick up what I'm putting down, change your life, grow your life, and stay tuned, man. We love you. Peace out. All right, guys, you're the true 1%ers. You made it to the end of the video. Let's go. Like, comment so we know who you are down below, and then share this video to somebody else who needs it. And also turn your notifications on because we got the fire coming every single day. Amazing. We'll see you at the next video. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.